Alright guys, it's your lucky day. Here's the second video of the day. In particular, I wanted to cover more in-depth analysis on ISEE, especially with options expiration for this week, which has a lot of open interest for this stock. But before I get into that, I want to preface by saying I am not a financial advisor. None of the things I say in my video or anywhere else is financial advice, so question everything, come out with your own conclusions, do your own research. And having said that, let's get right into it. So ISEE finished the day at negative 0.55% for the day. It went as high as 22.35 and the low being 21.61 before finally closing the day at 21.79. So what can we expect for ISEE looking forward? So we are still trading up above $21. We have yet to close 22. So we would like ISEE to continue pushing up to the upside, but harmonically, I don't have much because it is overextended. So some of the things you don't really get harmonics on the macro. But what's interesting today, we got something on the 10-minute, and I wanted to share that with you guys. It is a bearish pattern, a bearish deep crab pattern here on the 10-minute, where it did a type 2 reaction, and then it did a type 1 where it tested target 1, and now it's looking like it wants to go back up and test hop at 23.10. But before it gets there, it's gonna have to go and test some resistances here between 21.73, 21.91, and then finally 22.31. On the daily, we have a little bit of a an idea of where we're getting stopped at. We've been getting stopped at exactly like 21.40. I think we've tested that already like a couple of times. I think on the hour we've tested it even more. A couple of times, like 3-4 times, where it's been stopped. So if we can get above 22.41 with volume, we could potentially see further upside. So I'm going to turn on my drawings here. We are still trading above this range. Let me jump over to the quickly to the 1 week. So we're still trading above the upside breakout. We need volume for that push, right? Where if this would establish a new trading range, because this $30.17 is exactly where it's been, where the gap fill is, where it started, and as well as how many times it's been tested in this range. So entering here, which we currently are, would potentially see us touch the top of the trend line at 30 if we get some type of gamma squeeze or some type of news. So key resistances to look for would be, obviously there's a lot of resistances up here, still eyeing 27 and then possibly 30, and if it wants to continue pushing up, $38. But levels of support here would be where it's currently at. Don't want it to lose 21.79, because then we start looking at this range where we can potentially go down to 19.32. Losing that, we could probably start looking and trading into this range where it would be between 19.32 and 14.76. So I wanted to just quickly give you guys of some positive news here from the stock, and this is just news. This is out there. This is on, you can find it online in the press release. But some of the positive news that came out for ISEE was that the UBS raised the target from $20 to $26. The same with B. Riley Securities. They raised their target to $19 from $8. Bush raised their target to 29 from 22. Also, we had some news which by the ticker name NGM, which is another GA biopharmaceutical company, and they failed to meet their expectations in their trials. So how that is bullish for ISEE is because now that NGM failed their trials, it could potentially have ISEE get some of that market there. So that is good for ISEE. The other competitor that ISEE is facing with is APLS. I believe they have some type of press event or something going on in November, so we definitely have to keep an eye out on that. Some other positive news, like we said, we've went over this before. Phase 3 showed efficacy in Chimera, so it's right now what looks like to me is ISEE is having that potential market share for GA, for developing a GA drug. So jumping over to the options chain, which was interesting today, was that on the options chain, we saw ISEE, we saw 5,000 volume come in for the $20 strike price for this week, October 21's expiration. From the option chain, it looks like to me they still haven't closed their position. I'm not sure if they're going to exercise by the end of the week. We don't know. But it is interesting that almost 5,000 volume came in today for the $20 strike price. So we still have the 22.5 that are still not in the money, and those have 15K open interest. The 25s have 13K. The 30 have almost 5K, and the 35s have 12K for this week. There was also some other bullish news that came in for the $25 strike price for December 16, which had has an open interest of right now currently at 30,000 open interest, and 2.7K volume came in for today. So something is going on. We don't know what's going to happen, right? We can only just assume. To me, this looks bullish. At any time, some type of news can come out, especially now that NGM failed their expectations. They failed to meet expectations in their trials. They were partnered with Merck, and Merck now has the option of not licensing their drug, and that could potentially down the line be a partnership with ISEE, which would be very bullish for ISEE if that was to happen, as ISEE, I think, is a front runner for developing that GA drug. So we will have to see for some type of news. Maybe they do partner up, maybe they don't, or some offering happens. But I am bullish on the stock. We'll see what we have this coming week. This week is going to be very interesting for ISEE, as options expiration is coming to a close here on Friday. So that's all I wanted to share with you guys. I'll be streaming tomorrow morning, 6:15 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So if you like this type of content, please consider giving me a like, subscribing to the channel. It does help me out. That's all I have for you guys. You guys have a good night, and I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.